What's up, Raiders? Bionic here. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. We are obviously going to talk about the Fusion today. I have the plan for you guys. We're going to look at everything. We're going to even compare it to the Krila Fusion because it has gotten, I think, a little bit harder, okay? Or at least they've changed some of the milestones, which once again might change your strategy on how you are going to attempt to get this champion, and hopefully you can actually get him and you don't do all this work for no good reason. Before I get started though, I do want to remind you guys that I will be streaming tonight on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you have any shards that you would let me open for you, that would be amazing. I will definitely be trying myself. A miscreated monster and a Madame Cerise on my account would be very, very, very valuable, especially to complete the faction wars. So I'm just hoping I'm actually going to get it. We're also starting the Fragment Fusion event with a summon rush, so it's a decent time to summon, although it is a 10 chance event, not usually my favorite time to summon, but you know, you gotta use these shards at some point, right? Okay, so let's go into this calendar here real quick. Basically, it's all broken down for us, and I mapped it all out for you guys, like I said, in the Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so here is how it looks. I do have a lot of red in here because there are some values that I do not currently know. We'll go over the ones that we do know, and then I'll give you guys my predictions for the ones that are upcoming. I'll also show you a couple screenshots. If you want to join my Discord server, I will be posting a picture of this calendar in there so that you guys can download it and use it for reference. I will also update it as we progress through this fusion. So the way I make my calendar is I typically give you guys sort of like 3 scenarios, okay? One is sort of like you go all in a little bit more into the summon rush, but you kind of don't really focus on the champion chase tournament. The second one is the opposite, right? You're going to do the summon rush a little bit less, perhaps, but you're also going to do a little bit more of the champion chase tournament. And then maybe in this case, because we do have a champion training event and a champion training tournament, you're going to work a little bit more on one of them and then not at all on the other one, right? So for the free-to-play approach, though, I'm always looking for the easiest points in a sense, okay? However, because of how the milestones work, and what I mean by milestones is sort of like the amount of points you need to get that fixed amount of fragments. For instance, the champion training tournament, they're not giving you the opportunity to get 5 plus 5. It's a fixed 10 at like probably 4,700 points, right? So if you count these in, then it means like you have to skip different milestones for, let's say, the champion training event. It also is going to depend on what overlaps with what, okay? So if we have, let's say, for the first Dungeon Divers event, which is going to overlap with the Dragon and Ice Golem tournament at the same time as the champion training event, is there one of those tournaments that you do not want to focus on? For instance, the Ice Golem, which I don't like. I would rather not do too much of it. So if I can get the easiest fragments first, and then I can skip the rest of the Ice Golem tournament to focus a little bit more on the champion training event, that prevents me from having to do a spider tournament at the same time as a champion training tournament, okay? So you need to understand what overlaps with what so that you can better prepare for this. Anyway, all that being said, let's go over all the events and tournaments. We do start with the summon rush. Like I said, this is ongoing for a couple of days. We also have 25 fragments in here. It used to be 30. Okay, so the summon rush, they changed the 3,500 points milestone to 10 fragments instead of 15. As for the Krila one, like I said, this used to be a 15 extra fragments on that last milestone. All right, so I mean, going all the way up here, 3,500 points, that is not easy to do. I typically only go for the easiest points first, so I'm going to say focus only on this first layer of rewards. As for the artifact enhancement events, we have 2 that they have increased the points drastically. It used to be a lot less than this. I do have it right here, pretty sure. I think it's open. Yeah, right here. Okay, this was the Krila fragment, 1,000 points, okay, for 10 fragments, right? And now they've reduced that to actually they've reduced it to 5 fragments but increased the points to 2,600 points, which is huge. Dungeon Divers events, I don't think those are going to change. They are probably going to be exactly the same. I think I have that one open right here. Dungeon Divers, that's usually 3,000 points for 10 fragments, so I'm going to bet that it is going to be exactly the same thing. We have 2 of those. I am factoring in that you are going to do both. Same thing with the artifact enhancement event. I'm saying you are going to do both, okay? But this is dangerous. This is actually very expensive in terms of silver. You might not have enough silver saved up. I have like 20 million and I don't have a lot of items ready to go to 16. So you could almost say, okay, you know what? I'm only going to do one of them. If you do that, then that might mean that you have to focus a little bit more on the Ice Golem tournament and you have to go all in to reach your 100 fragments. Anyway, that is up to you guys. Just be careful with this. This little part right here might screw you guys up, okay? As for the champion training event, they've changed it to 15 total fragments. It used to be 5 plus 5 plus 10, so it used to be 20 in there. So I'm guessing what they might do is instead of giving us 3 milestones, they might give us only 2, and then they might push this one further up, might hopefully reduce this one. So you got to be careful with this. You might not be able to get all 15. If they push everything even further up, 8,000 points is pretty rough to get, okay? So you might be forced to, let's say, only get 5 from here if that doesn't work, and then get 10 from the champion training tournament. Okay, so again, be really careful in how you manage this. Just look at the total number of points between your milestones, and you want the least of them. That's how I look at it. So if it's easier for me to get 5 from here and 10 from here than it is for me to get all of them from here, much better. Okay, and I do think I have the champion training event right here for you guys as a proof. Okay, we had 5 plus 5 plus 10 on 3 milestones. Now they've reduced it. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be different. Be careful with this as well. And then we have the Champion Chase Tournament, which I'm going to say is going to be a 2-chance sacred next Friday. This is what's next on the line or in the list of like the 2-chance events. We're doing a 10-chance this week. Next week, 2-chance. We should be up for those sacreds, okay? And here I'm saying that you can get the first 2 milestones. Usually pretty easy to do. If you have any champions saved up, if you have any fusions saved up, keep saving them for that champion chase tournament. This is going to count for a lot of points. Do you have an extra relic keeper you can fuse? That's 250 points. Do you have an extra Broadma you could fuse? That's an extra 350 points. Do you have your rosin that you did not grab yet? Maybe you have your arbiter just sitting there, okay? So you can do this. This is easy points, and it saves you a lot of shards that you can instead use in the summon rush that we have today. All right, so but I am saying in the free-to-play sort of like approach, we're gonna do 15. All right, I typically am able to get the first 2 milestones relatively easy. Then we have Classic Arena Takedown. The milestones have been reduced. They used to be like 225 points, now it's 180. Pretty easy to do, so you have a total of 10 right there because you do both of them. Ice Golem, it really depends, right? It's typically 1 milestone around 1,500 points. Now they're saying there's 2, so there's a total of 10 fragments in there. That means there's going to be 2 milestones. If I look at the previous ones, it was at 500 and then 1,500, okay? So Ice Golem is the least a favorite of the tournaments, and the gear in there you don't really need, but you might be forced to have to go all the way to 1,500 points. If you do, then great. If you don't, then maybe you can get away with getting just 5 and increase 5 somewhere else. Let's say it's the champion training event, and then you only get 5 in there. You're still at 100, okay? So you do have a little bit of wiggle room, but again, just be careful. Dragon, you're gonna do 5 fragments. Spider, you're probably gonna have to do 5 fragments, and then champion training tournament, this is gonna be a hit or miss. It's gonna be 1 milestone, if I'm not mistaken, like the one we have right here, which is the Krila once again. Okay, 1 milestone at 4,700 points for 10. So you got to go deep. You got to push for this one. It's not like the champion training event where you can do a couple layers. Instead, this one, it's all in, okay? And like I said, this is overlapping with the Spider tournament. So it might be a little bit harder because you got to do the Spider tournament, most likely. Unless, of course, you go a little bit more all in into this champion training event. You get all 15 fragments, and that would mean that you can skip literally the Spider. Okay, if you want to do it that way. But you do have to do that champion training tournament on top. So that would be a whopping amount of champion sort of like training, right? A lot of food. A whole lot of food. But hey, maybe you're gonna have a lot of food from this summon rush, so maybe it's all gonna work out. Anyway, all this said, guys, you have a couple of options here, okay? So again, play around with this, but like I said, my free-to-play approach is always sort of like the easiest fragments first. That is what I focus on, and again, I will update this as I get a little bit more information on all the events, okay? So do join the Discord if you want to get the updated version of this plan right here. If you haven't already, that would be awesome, okay? So guys, that's going to be pretty much it for now, right? Just the fusion plan. You guys know what to expect by now. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Did I miss something? Is there an error on there? Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys later.